Hey friends, it's been a little while since I've done a YouTube tutorial, so I just wanted to show you something new that I learned. One of our friends recently posted that she had an HTML email signature where the person who received your message could click on it in order to go to your links. So I'm going to show you one way to do that using Canva, of course, because I love Canva. And you'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so you guys can see what I've been up to over here the last couple of days trying to figure this out for you guys. So I'm going to start in Canva. We're going to move over to Google Docs just for simplicity, and then we will move over to our Gmail settings. So give me just a moment and I will share my screen with you. All right. So I'm going to start with the signature design. So we can do that right here in Canva. I created it using a 600 by 200 pixel. So basically just creating, your name, your business, some contact information, and you can create this any which way you'd like to. You can also use one of the free templates inside your member portal and redesign it from there. I'm not sure it's the correct size, but if you have Canva Pro, you can resize it to the 600 by 200 and go from there. Okay. So I've already created this. This is done. So I just downloaded it as a transparent PNG. So you can download it as a transparent PNG, and then we will have that file here on the computer, okay? So then I went over and I created buttons in a 100 by 50 design, okay? And so that we did because the length of this one is 200, and we've got 4 buttons. So I divided it by 4 so that they will line up along the bottom of this template, okay? So I did this was 100 by 50. And I've also went ahead and embedded my links into this design. So right now, and on another tutorial, we show you kind of how to embed those links as well. But ultimately, you just click on each of the elements, whichever element you want, and we will add the link to whatever you're trying to divert them to. So in the case of my CRO friends, you might want to put your credit monitoring link. You might want to do your digital store. You may want to consider maybe your affiliates, like getting a new credit card, a self-lender, like there's a few different ones. And of course, in the elements area, you can choose. Sometimes there are graphics for the different credit cards or different brands. So I know, like with Canva, I used their element to get Canva Pro. Okay, but for Ecwid, because I'm a partner with Ecwid, there are some downloadables in my portal, and I think with some of the credit card broker um, credit broker card. I'm not sure which one it is, but they also give you some digital assets. You can always upload those into your Canva and then put them on a button or make them the button that your client is going to choose. I only put the links on here for simplicity so I can transfer it over to the next piece of this. So I'm going to download those again as a transparent PNG, and I've labeled them, each of their names. That way, whenever I save it, it shows up in a zip folder. So I'm going to show you that buttons, and each one is labeled so I know exactly which button is which when I upload it into the design. So next, I'm going to open up a Google Doc. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just start a fresh one here for you. We are going to insert a table, and we want it to be a 2 by 2. I'm sorry, a 1 by 1. Okay, so here I'm going to insert a photo that we've already uploaded or already saved. And that was this one. Okay, so now we've got this image, and now we're going to come down here and we're going to upload those other 4 images for the buttons. And I want shop now to be first. And now I'm going to insert another one, book a call. Going to upload another one. We're going to do Canva and one more. Okay, cool. So now each of these images, you can always adjust them, make them a little bit bigger. But when you start to mess with that, you have to make sure that they are still lined up properly because you lose some of the formatting. Now, you will also notice that it gets a little bit blurry when you are rearranging the sizes. So it's not necessary to make it any bigger because it is going into a very small area on your signature area anyway. However, if it's really, bugging you, you can always change out the signature buttons to JPEG. I think that is also just for sharing. Let's just see what the JPEG buttons would look like in the design. Okay, so we're just gonna give that a quick try. So that's one thing I had not tried yet. I don't think it really helped anything. In fact, I think it might even look worse. So we'll just stick to the JPEG, transparent JPEG, and now we have our design. Of course, because this is a table, it did help us line everything up properly. If you also wanted to make it where it was like a 2 by 2, that's also an option. This is a way that you can do it if you are creating it just like from scratch and not using Canva. So what we can do is insert a table, sorry, table 2 by 2. And then what we'll do is we'll merge these two templates or two cells into one. This is where you're gonna put your picture. And then you'll just type out contact info. I saved this picture wrong. If you use like a circle or make it more centered, I ended up with this white space next to it, which was not good for this specific type of design. So you can just put your contact info in there and then business, phone, email, a little client testimonial or inspirational quote, whatever it is you put on there. And then of course you can format it so that the lettering is bigger, smaller, and then, we can bold and italic. Okay, so you can see that we can add different colors. We can format it to choose different font. Maybe, if you want contact name. And then down here, you can add maybe your like Facebook, like I would, for me, I put my buttons in there, but you might, instead of putting these buttons, you might put like your um, social media or disclosures or something down here. So we're just gonna put join our Facebook community here. And we can make that big. Okay, so this is the couple different ways to do that. Then you can also add a link to this. Okay. So now to go back to this design, this is my favorite. This is the way I like to do it. It's already all written out, looks really nice. You have more creative freedom as far as the fonts go. When you use Canva, you can actually use your branding and everything. With this, there are only a few different choices, and then there's like choices within those, but there's not very much. You can choose more, but it took me a long time to try to find something when I was trying to do it this way. So I just chose to do it this way. It works just the same, no big deal. Now, we want to add our links to each of our buttons. So I'm going to do that. And this is when I was saying I already put it in the design over in the button design so that I could just copy and paste. So that's an option. And nobody likes watching people do this part, but okay. And I never remember my Equid link. Oops. Okay. So we're just going to link that. Apply. All right, so now you probably noticed that there is this black line around the outside. It's very ugly. So we're just going to grab each of these lines by holding down the shift key to highlight them. And then we're going to just turn them white. Okay, so now we're going to take our table and copy it. We're going to head right on over to our Gmail. We're going to go to the gear up here to settings, and then you're going to go to see all settings. Then you'll scroll down until you see the signature, and you will create new. And paste it into this bar. And it looks great. You can also, change the sizes. I don't recommend doing that because it'll mess up some of the formatting. But now you'll want to change your signature defaults. So you're going to change it to tutorial 2. And you'll see when you click on each of these things, like the link is already on there. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So I've saved my signature defaults and I'm ready to hit save. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing just for a moment because it will update and go straight to my inbox. And just to keep everybody's information safe, including my own, I'm just going to hit stop share while I hit save changes. Okay, then I'm going to open up a new email and I'll show you that again. Okay, so when I clicked on new email and then I popped it out just to kind of put some of this behind here without having to blur anything. Now you see that my signature is here. It looks really nice. And I'm going to shoot off a test email to myself. Okay. And I'm going to hit send and stop my share really quick. And then we will open up the email that we just received from ourselves. And you can see that it looks pretty good. It's a little bit big, but I think it's fine. I think most people's are pretty sizable. And this allows you to see the words on here. So if we click on them, it opens up this new screen with the shop page, with our calendar, with Canva, and I test all the buttons and make sure that everything works, okay? So now you see all 4 links worked at the bottom here. So you are pretty much good to go. You've got a new clickable signature, and you can also do this one other way. So let me go ahead and share that with you. I'm going to go back into the gear where it says settings and then CL settings. And I will now share my screen one more time. Sorry about all the whiplash back and forth, but just trying to keep everybody happy and safe. Okay, so the other way to do it is we're going to create a tutorial 3 signature here, and you can literally just do it within this box. So the drawback to this is there's a possibility that it won't all perfectly line up because of formatting. Another drawback is this box is so tiny and you can't see anything, and that is really frustrating personally for me, but it's not the end of the world, and I did create it the very first time manually instead of in a Google Doc. So I'm going to just show you how to do that to save you a step. So what we'll do is we will upload the image for the signature. Okay, and if you want to size it down a little bit, and then at the end of it, we're going to hit enter. We're going to upload the buttons. We're just going to do this one at a time, okay? And make sure your cursor is at the back. Make sure your cursor is at the back. And remember, these buttons are not clickable by themselves. You have to manually do that yourself. Another thing that we could do that we didn't do on the last design was put a space in between. And to give the buttons a little bit of breathing room. Okay, so these buttons, they can also be changed to different sizes. We're just going to leave them the original size. Small also works. They're very similar. So you can do it, you know, big, little, medium. I don't recommend medium. There we go, large. And then literally just highlight each one and select the link button, which is kind of hidden. There it is, link. And we are going to Ecwid. So where's my buttons here? I'm going to grab that link again. Whoops. And I'm going to put the link on here. Oops. That did not work. Okay, book a call. The link on there. And one last one. Sorry, it's taken just a little bit. This is part of the thing that kind of, you have to do it either way, but doing it in such a small little box with the display or the little caption thing in the way, it's kind of annoying. So that's why when I discovered that you can do it in Google Docs, it just made more sense to me. So you can also test the links, but since I know that they work, we won't have to worry about it too much. And I did that wrong. So let's see. Okay, book a call, Canva, and sell. So see, because that area was so small, I didn't even see that at first. So, okay, so now that we know that that works, we're gonna change this to tutorial 3, and we are going to save. We're going to compose a new email, and I'm going to share one last time with you to show you what that one looks like. So this one's a little bit smaller, a little more manageable. So that is also an option. Keep in mind that if you like the way this looks, that's fine. If you want to change it to the bigger one, you've got a couple different options. And that's my old one. And look how much more readable it is. Look how much more you can just like click on things easier. I like that. You can also edit this, edit your signature once you already have it. So if you mess something up so simple like the little space or spacer, then you can just go in and edit it, and then you'll go back into your settings and readjust it later. But if you're just like popping off one quick email, this is perfect. One drawback is this is not an option on mobile, but you can always copy this from an old email that you sent and paste it each time into a new email when you're doing it on mobile. But on desktop, this will save and you'll have an interactive way to reach more customers. So if you liked this tutorial, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you follow the channel and report back in the group when you have created your signature. I want to know all about it, and shoot me over an email so I can see it. Okay. All right. I will see you guys soon. Bye.